Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of
Research
Stellaris.
complete.
Ooh, we're hitting the ground running with the ancient shield overcharger. For our star bases that are right on the very end, or potentially even just the ones that are in potentially dangerous areas like in front of black holes, in front of L gates, this could be pretty useful. Right, let's get some new research underway. What do we want to push for? Upping the fleet command limit's not really going to help us much. Maybe we go for the Voltron reality computer. Stick it on a world where we're going to have a lot of physics researchers, such as Valdus Prime. All right, we'll make the jump and actually get that unlocked. Right, before I got distracted, I was going to give a approximate update on where we are. We've finished exploring One Rift. So we have our science ship down here that is specialized in rift exploration, coming up to hit the next one. We're going to be moving into Starred, cloaking and trying to do some active reconnaissance. We are actively trying to gather various species specimens as part of an ongoing project. And technically we're at war. But not much is happening with that war. I mean, I suppose we could bring our fleet up here and send it through Athon's Gate, which would be hilarious. Oh no, is that the elusive Tarblack? It is in friendly territory, but it's not convenient. Go and pick it up. If we don't do it now, then we just won't do it for a while. Tip of the Spear is coming across to take out the Void Clouds. Just because we can. It's always nice to do things because we can. Let's unpause and carry on. And we've got a whole bunch of stuff building right now, which is going to help boost our economy even further. And also give jobs in places where we are lacking jobs. Terib as a mining world really doesn't have many population bits to help out. So, to start off with on our alien organism procurement. A small rodent-like creature known as the Orthony, a native to Nyoxing, where their habitat extends across most of the planet's diverse climatic regions. Breed an extremely rapid rate and seem to have a particular fondness for chewing on electric cables. Procuring specimens was not a problem. In fact, after the initial creatures were collected, more of them made their way to the Emplar by hitching rides on science ships' orbital shuttles, exactly why the Museum of Exobiology requested. These specimens remained a mystery, so this is giving us R3 teeth as a specimen, which we could do stuff with. It produces engineering research. Sure. It's rare for me to be buying energy credits, but this is an additional 6 engineering research, 7 engineering research. It's not a huge amount, but when you're only getting 225, it's almost 4%. So I'm fine spending a little bit for it. I wonder what we're going to get next. So that was the Emplar over here. Let's send you to the next one. we have enough unity to activate our relics. Now, this is kind of important. Last time we got the Celestial Tier. That can just give us 1,000 astral threads instantly, so we could use that to accelerate our progress on stuff when we generate a new rift, which we're going to do just as soon as we have one more astral thread. Well, while we're waiting, let's find military applications for our various relics. Oh no, we can't. Oh, because they share a cooldown. That's fine. We can celebrate diversity. No, we don't, because we've done that too recently. Fine, I guess we're just waiting.
Research complete.
Okay, now we can do astral splitting. So it will cost more now. That has used all of our astral threads. So we will activate the Celestial Tier. That should have given us 1,000 threads, of which we can only store 750, but we can still hit the Astral Siphon. And that's some pretty big progress. We have a few things that we need to pay attention to in that. First things first. Scientist has leveled up. You are currently on the Suplar. Okay. And the Suplar is going to go gather a species. So you're not doing anything particularly spectacular. We could give you a bit of Astral Rift exploration speed, and we can stick you on the second rift when it appears. Has it already appeared? Let's have a little look through our area. I see some threads there, which may not have been there previously. Build mining stations, then come down, get the research station here when you're done. And I want to just double check. Creates an astral rift in a random system you control. Okay. So we are expecting an astral rift somewhere. It might arrive soon. We might need to unpause for it to actually appear. In the meantime, super solid materials. That's advanced engineering complex, which we can stick on a planet that's doing all the engineering stuff. Let's get some more research. 158 months is way too long. Let's go for Star Fortress. Because I'd like to be able to upgrade our space stations. There we go. New Astral Rift has appeared. Oh, it is in Voltamar. Okay. So, yeah, we'll give you Scholar. And the Suplar, once it's done its thing, you can come down and check out Voltamar. Well, I'm sure that's not going to be a terrible idea. Oh, we are losing minerals. We must have just finished building something.
Handshake protocols activated.
Well, we can certainly support it with other things, but We're going to need some of those other jobs to swing around. Vakinian Embassy? Sure, we'll allow that. And our second astral rift is underway. Now, with the astral rifts, if I pull them up very quickly, if we complete 2 astral rifts, we can have a look at this one. If we do 3, we can do this one. If we have 4, we can do this one. If we have 5, we can do this one. And we're going to need psionic technology to be able to do that top thing. So there's going to be some research and development to come. I really hope that this goes well. There we go. Minerals are looking fine. And we have our next alien in the procurement chain. Let's do Isabella Hodgkinson's level up as head of research. Maniacal 2 is good. So Maniacal 1 is 5%. That's an additional 3%, which is not amazing, but it's still fine. We could push for archaeo studies, though. We've already got computing research up. Inquisitive is interesting. I think we'll lean into archaeo studies a little bit. It also reduces our minor artifact ship cost slightly. So, the Poplar. We'll bring you down and get you on the next project. Now, these Goulanthars are large, flat herbivores that evolved internal gas pockets, enabling them to hover a few centimeters above the ground. They move about in herds consisting of a few dozen animals, grazing on the moss and lichen that can be found in the windswept plains. They're ruthlessly hunted by the moon's apex predators, and our biologists estimate that only a few hundred herds remain. One of these, consisting of 9 animals, has been successfully collected and will be brought back to Sheltered Reach. Piplar, move on and get the next hyper relay. Yeah, our minerals are looking fine. I shouldn't have worried so much. It was probably just a temporary thing while the systems were all rebalancing. We do want to be producing more, obviously. But it's a lot less urgent than I originally believed.
Research complete.
Cloud lightning conduits. Void clouds technology. Ooh, gravity snares. So, gravity snares, I saw in our discoveries the vivarium here. Let's push for that. Space fauna ship growth. We can grow space fauna? Maybe. As a whole, I'm very interested in what this could lead to. Artificial breeding? Controlled mutations? Combat computer biointegration? There's some interesting stuff down that line. We're still not quite at the 100 years in So right now, I feel like we're doing all right. Speaking of doing all right,
Spaceborne life form encountered.
time for another bit of combat. Now, this should go a little bit better than our last engagement. In terms of efficiency, not necessarily in terms of raw numbers.
Battle commenced.
This Void Cloud is almost all shields. It has no armor, and our weapons are going to be effective. Oh my god, that is a big laser coming in. And this is an old ring system. Yeah, we're being nice and efficient. Not necessarily super accurate, but we have the victory. We did lose a Corvette, unfortunately. Go get yourself repaired. You've done a good job. And I'd kind of like you to come across and survey. Before they have a chance to check it out. And then once you're done with that, come and do this. I wonder how much it would cost us to build a starbase over here. I suspect quite a lot. Right, first contact with the Daleth aliens. Oh, this is right over the other side of the map. Probably because they've come close to a wormhole. We do have an envoy ready to be assigned, so we'll just put them in. And we have a Snirren, the large burrowing creatures that live beneath the dunes of the vast equatorial deserts. Where these predators sense movement in the sand above, they immediately raise dozens of tall spikes from their backs in the hope of impaling something edible, delicious. Finding a suitable specimen proved difficult at first, until hundreds of tracked remote-controlled drones were dispatched across the desert in random directions. This led to the discovery and procurement of an unusually large specimen that had grown more than 100 spikes on its back. And it's giving us an actual specimen which will produce more engineering research. I'm cool with that. Let's get it activated right away. I don't know if we can actually fit any more in, but we have a complete collection now. Stored specimens will be added to exhibits as room becomes available. Okay, so we can store stuff if we don't want it to be exhibited. So, like, if we decide that 5% extra food isn't worth it. That's kind of cool. Okay, well, we'll leave that alone for the moment. Seeing as we have plenty of alloys, where is the Miplar? I feel like we can put you to good use getting a hyper relay up here. Is there one built in this system? Not yet. We'll actually build it down in this system. Because there is one in Davin, I'm pretty certain. Yeah. So that's going to carry on connecting things up. Sheltered Reach, I wanted to see... Oh yeah, we have so many more engineer jobs. We had 480. And then we changed this across to mineral research support. And it has just boosted things significantly. It has obviously impacted our mineral production, but it now means that our number of engineer jobs has gone up quite a lot. Well, we've got plenty of jobs available on the home world, especially with the miners, so we'll let that carry on fleshing out. It's good to know for should we ever need to do it. Let's have a look at our situation log and see how we're doing with stuff. Alien procurement, we're up to 3 out of 7. The L cluster, we're up to 5 out of 7. We've got 2 astral rifts, which are on the go. Well, one of them is about to be on the go. And indoctrinating Start 1. 2 of our key operatives have been seriously injured during an unexpected natural disaster, which also claimed the lives of several of the locals. Local residents rushed to their aid, and the operatives are being given rudimentary care. They've not yet been able to question our operatives. However, their injuries, though severe, are nothing compared with what struck down the bystanders. And we're going to increase their awareness. We're going to increase their awareness. These things happen. And our first contact event with the Daleth aliens. Sensors indicate a presence in the Pipcal system, sending rudimentary signals. Find out more about them. Let's carry that on. They really need to build a hyper gateway network thing. It takes way too long to move through their territory. The crew of the CBSS Emplars managed to collect a small group of Udlorans from the icy surface of Sarn. While these furry omnivores wrap themselves into tight balls and roll across the planet's snowfields at astonishing speeds, one animal was clocked at 80 kilometers per hour. This aided in their detection since the passage of their rolling kicks up huge plumes of swirling snow. And I believe... yeah. A potential... Pelt. Can we activate it in storage? I think probably not. Yeah, disabled while in storage. We could probably get away with dropping off some energy credits. So like this initial one... I don't want to sell it, I want to store it. Oh, maybe I have to sell it. It will be a significant number of credits, but I think it's probably going to be beneficial. So we sell it. This one comes across, and yeah, it instantly costs us 3,000 because it is top on the list. How much is it going to affect our income having sold that? That's the question. Not that much. We've also secured the Sargoroid. It's an extremely lethal predator that stalks the dense jungles at night, paralyzing its prey with electric shocks before sucking their brains out with a tube-like mouth. Sounds a bit like a mind flare. Unfortunately, 3 of the crew members of the Xenophile was lost to this creature before the specimen could be secured. The Museum of Exobiology and Shelters Reach will rename one of its wings after these brave officers to honour their sacrifice. Well, while we are waiting for that to become available, we can reverse engineer some arcane technology. That's giving us a whole bunch of society research. And the Enplar up here, we can put you to good use going out and exploring even further, I think. Head up there. And the Pulplar, I'd quite like to bring you round this way. So we can start scouting out up at the top. We have a lot of ships traveling around. Over on Rossel, we can finally upgrade the planetary admin. So we'll get that going. We're a little low on trade right this moment, so I should try and be mindful of that. Baldus needs some places for people to live. That's a brand spanking new city district on the way, and we will offset that with selling some moats.
Construct.
I sent you to go and be repaired. Can you get repaired here? I guess maybe you can. Following the recent discovery of gravity snares, Saventian science ships are now able to launch gravity snares. Hooray! These non-lethal projectiles can safely capture and transport space fauna to our vivarium, where they can continue to reproduce new specimens of their kind. Culling and dissecting the creatures will allow harvesting of their genetic material for cloning purposes, as well as other resources. So, the Suplar. Where's the gravity snare button? Don't see a specific thing on there. Let's instead what do we have you doing right now? You're coming down to look at that rift. Okay, not the Suplar. Enplar. Let's find some space flora fauna. You were going to be moving up there. If we were to say ruby stacks. Cool. We can launch gravity snares like this. I'm curious. I am very curious. This bar's moving up. I'm guessing you can't do a snare on the psionic avatar? No. In order, let's get the hyper relay down here so at least that finishes out our various sections. So Fitplar is done. Miplar is busy already. Obitrex has just finished building down here. The next place for you would probably be up this side. So we'll get you over there. The Suplar is coming down to do rift exploration. The Lisplar is surveying the system and then coming down to do a capture. The Enplar is a possibility, but it's really far away. The Parplar is actively exploring a rift. And the Pooplar is equally far away. Alright, we'll send the Pooplar. Let's start a bit closer to home. Come in and do some gravity snares. Interesting that there's a... I mean, of course there's going to be a capacity limit. Something that we hadn't really considered. Let's get some new research. Fundamental Research Nexus. All of these are kind of like moving towards us having a lot of research coming out and like actively pushing things further forwards. But really right now, it feels like we've plateaued a little bit. Which I suspect is normal at this stage. The Daleth aliens, void worms. Okay. We discovered that the far-reaching signals originate from a simple spaceborne organism we've taken time to calling void worms. It appears the galaxy is riddled with the creatures of varying wavelength signals. We've determined that the creatures develop through several stages before reaching final maturity. Though they don't appear outwardly aggressive, their patterns of communication indicate coordination on a galactic scale. Let's do void worm research.
They can talk, and they want to talk to us.
Seeing as we got our envoy back, where is the Chosen? We're going to carry on with our... There we go. With our espionage. Back in you go. Let's find out what we can. It is really easy for us to do any operation here. Let's go steal technology. Alloys are good, our production's good. Let's carry on. Yeah, tip of the spear has been all repaired. Well, that's really quite handy. I wasn't expecting to be able to use... I mean, I guess they are our allies. Yeah, this place is still kind of terrifying. Our fleet's not big enough to stop that. For right now, let's bring the tip of the spear. If we were to go to try and end the war, we're coming up here. And that is a janky route I did not expect. The EPER system, which comes across from Bidrath. I'm so glad that there's another thing that's planning that route, because I would not have thought to move like that. This is the way I would have come. Alright, we're going to send them up to the main gateway, and maybe we'll stick our head through and be like, hey, let's finish this, because I want to form a federation. Hey, and there's our astral threads coming in, which we have quite a decent number.
Research complete.
The Vulcan reality computer is done. Let's push on with something cheap. Hyper entertainment forums. Yeah, why not? That'll be 4 months until it's done. That Vulcan reality computer. If we have a look at our economy here, we've got a whole bunch of physicists, we've got a whole bunch of engineers, and we've got a whole bunch of archaeo-engineers. This is a relatively good place for us to stick fun buildings like the Astral Siphon. It will cost us a lot of consumer goods. The materials workshop could work, though. And the field dynamics center could also work. Let's have a look at the central spire for itself. Consumer goods per 1,000 physicists plus 1. We have about 1,000 physicists, so that'll be 10 consumer goods. That's fine. So getting the Astral Siphon here makes a lot of sense. Physicists are converted into astral researchers. I'm fine with that. Next up, let's buy some more. More, I tell you. So next up on the research as a whole, job efficiency for researcher jobs plus 15%. Given the number we've got, it does feel like a smart choice. We'll get that queued up as well. And then Field Dynamics Center will give us extra per physicist. Materials Workshop will give us extra per engineer, which we probably need more than anything. The Vulcan reality computer is a big one. We can also get a new specialism over here. We're going to need another city district. City district is on the way, and it's going to give us 800 housing. That's not taking any away. That's not taking any away. And this won't take any away. We're going to need a lot of minerals to have this queued up ready to go. But I think doing it now, while I've got the impetus... If we go for engineering research specialism... we could even go for a research enclave and just spread it around. I think spreading it around is fine. Yeah, research enclave. And then we can do more buildings when all that's done. Valdis is going to be busy for a while. Now, most of these buildings are to support the existing population. Obviously, we're having it available to expand for others, but there is still plenty of jobs available. So we just need to make sure that the actual livable space is good enough for them. So, we have our first thing for the rift exploration. Abandoned buildings are scattered haphazardly across the sands within this rift. From inside the largest of these, a massive dome came a faint yellow light. From floor to ceiling, the interior's curving walls were covered with an unknown script. At the centre of the main chamber is a console with two large buttons, one deep blue and the other vibrant green. We're in the process of deciphering the text on the walls, to see if it gives us an indication of what it might be for. And Cooperative Research Channels
agenda ready.
Has all passed. Chart the unknown, launch it. And we are going to... Ooh. Choices. We can do open arms. Bit of extra trade. Xenophile ethics. It's a relatively quick one to launch as well. I don't think it's bad choice. Now, if we get up to 3,000 energy, I can activate that last relic that we have. Ooh, espionage event on the indoctrination of Stad. Our work to influence the pre-FTL inhabitants has reached its zenith. Our operatives are now ready to bring our own cultural values to bear. Our work has proceeded splendidly. Through careful manipulation of cultural memes and social mores, we've encouraged a cultural shift so profound one could almost believe it arose spontaneously. Our operatives took a holistic approach, encouraging curiosity and greater appreciation for other cultures in the form of stories, art, and community events. Cool. That sounds like it went very well. So we're going to want to do another operation because it's what we're all about. Let's push for planting more advanced knowledge. And we could maybe do increase awareness in the future. We have another specimen, the Zulkar wings. So the Zulkar are swarming insect analogues. Unusual both for their large size and the fact that they're lithivores feeding off rocks and minerals in the ground. One of the shuttles belonging to the Supla sustained serious damage when it inadvertently passed through a large swarm, and several of them began to feed on its hull. The construction of special containment facilities required to hold the creatures has already begun at the Museum of Exobiology. So these Sukla wings, they give more alloys. That's kind of nice. That might be a bit nicer than 5% extra food. Might be. The engineering research that we've got is so limited. I feel like we have to preserve as much of it as possible. We could get away with losing 2.5% minerals from jobs. Because 2.5% is a little over 4. Taking on those raw numbers. So we'll sell that. And that means we're almost in a position to activate this just on the raw numbers.
Research complete.
More society research is done. Let's go for the colonial centralization. That'll give us the potential of more leaders, even if we don't go for them straight away. And our numbers are all increasing quite happily. You're finishing up your hyper relay. You're almost in place. Go and get that next one building. And you finally made it there for the survey. Good, good, good. Okay, I think we're probably going to have to finish off there for this episode. Thank you very much for coming along, everyone. I do hope you are continuing to enjoy this. We'll just do this inter-system insight before we finish up. Seems like they have... our partner planet has made several new and admittedly insightful breakthroughs in the field of cloaking. Ooh... 50% elite cloaking, but reduced survey speed? Sure. I'm okay with that. I'll take 50% on elite cloaking.
Research complete.
Colonial centralization banged that out really quickly. Galactic bureaucracy will increase our edict fund, which will get our unity going up even faster, and it'll improve our base intel level with other empires. So that's almost a no-brainer. And we'll just let the research alternatives finish as well, and then we'll finish up.
Research complete.
There we go. Quantum energy states give us more energy. That seems like a very smart choice. This would take a little bit of time, but we can do this anytime we want. This, relatively quick. And we can boost our physics research, so we'll get that queued up as well. Thank you very much for coming along, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed this. We're at 2299 November, so we're very nearly at the 100-year mark. As always, if you have enjoyed this, be sure to give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and to be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for another episode of Stellaris. See you soon.